नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सकगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। हरे कृष्ण। By Lord Sri Krishna's causeless mercy, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita every day, actually almost 6 days a week. So now Krishna's mercy, we are in the in the Sunday, we are in the Sunday, we are actually India time morning Sunday. So that is in US, it is Saturday evening time. We are actually studying in the third chapter right now. We just started the third chapter last week. So we successfully finished the first two chapters. So I suggest the devotees who are joining for the first time. So maybe I will at least try to upload this. We will upload these videos in the new channel, which you can actually go to our YouTube channel, and then you can start from the first sloka onwards. So that way, Krishna's mercy, we are getting this opportunity to study Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, we know that it is the most confidential knowledge. And here, Krishna is now teaching, we are studying the Karma Yoga. Because in the second chapter, Krishna told Arjuna that you have to act with intelligence, you have to act. Act means karma, you have to do your duty. So that's what is called Karma Yoga. So when you act with intelligence, then you will be freed from the bondage to birth, bondage to work in this world. So that's what repeatedly we are studying. We are every time, every day, we are discussing about the same topic. The reason is that it is very important. It's very, very important. Because we are taking birth in this material world forever, without any end to it. It's happening forever. We have seen so many pandemics. Not only this one right now, what we are facing through. So we have died unlimited number of times. It's very difficult to count. It's beyond imagination. The number will go into 10 to the power so many. We cannot even, it is not even 10 to the power. We cannot even actually, it is beyond our imagination basically. So that's what is going on in our life. The life of the soul. So when we say it is our life, there is a life in this body. So in this body, in our life, with this particular body, we know that this is our life, what we know about it. But during the life of the soul, we don't know when it started, but we are struggling, we are suffering, we are dying, and we are repeatedly subjected to this birth, old age, disease, and death. So now we have got the opportunity. This is not like golden opportunity, something like that. It is the most what we can say. You cannot explain with words. So this opportunity we have got. We need to make use of this opportunity to get out of this material world. So this is Krishna's causeless mercy. We are getting this knowledge. So we are understanding that we are the soul. That is the main thing. Because in the second chapter in one shloka, Krishna said that आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवत् वदति तथैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवच्चैनम् अन्य शृणोति श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्. So someone आश्चर्यवत्, one second, I will just Hare Krishna, just give me 1 second, I will make this video is creating. Hare Krishna. I'm back here again. So, Ascharyavat pasyati kaschitenam, Ascharyavat vadati tataiva chanyagam, Ascharyavat chainam anyas srunoti, Srutvapyenam veda na chaiva kaschit. So that means somebody, Ascharyavat pasyati kaschitenam, someone look at this soul as amazing. Ascharyavat pasyati kaschitenam, Ascharyavat vadati tataiva chanya. Someone described the soul as amazing. Ascharyavat vadati tataiva chanya. Ascharyavat chainam anya srunoti. So somebody hear the soul as amazing. So srutvapyena vedanat chaiva kasit. Somebody even after hearing they cannot understand about the soul at all. So that way it's very difficult because it is achintya. Achintya means it is inconceivable. Even Krishna is also achintya. Achintya rupam. Aditya varnam. Tamasa parasat. And Krishna is describing our soul also as achintya. Avyaktoyam, achintyoyam, avikaryoyam uchyate. Tasmadevam viditvainam, nanu sochitum arhasi. So avyaktoyam, the soul is beyond the senses. So avyakta, we already studied about avyakta and vyakta. So we are able to see the body, but we are not able to see the soul. So that's why the soul is avyakta. It is sukshma. So avyaktoyam, achintyoyam. So it is inconceivable. And it will never change. It is unchangeable. It is avikaryoyam. Avikaryoyam means it's unchangeable. So the soul, it is always there. Sarvaga, it is sarvagataga. Nityaga sarvagataga sthanu. Achaloyam sanatana. So that's what our self, the soul. But in our life, we need to understand this. We need to, in each and every day, in each and every activity, we should live with this consciousness. That's what is very, very important. So how are we going to do that? Only with the help of this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, only it is possible for us to do like that. So Krishna is teaching very, very clearly in Bhagavad Gita that you are not the body, you are the soul. And we have to perform our duty. Then we will be able to free ourselves from this material body. So that's what in the second chapter we studied. And then when Arjuna asked the question about the symptoms of a self-realized person, we studied at length. We studied at length about the symptoms of a self-realized person. So that means only a person who is able to give up all attachments to this material world, he is the self-realized person. It should be possible for us to give up all attachments to this material world. So that is, then we have got sthira buddhi, so steady intelligence. So that means our mind is controlled. So when we can say that we have given up attachment to everything. So when our mind is no longer agitated, our mind is no longer disturbed. So if our mind is not at all disturbed, that means we have given up all attachments to everything in this material. Because first of all, the desires are coming to our mind, and the desires are actually concocted. They are all our mental speculations, our mind. Everything is arising in our mind. So, in one sloka we studied in the second chapter, 70th sloka. Apuryamanam achala pradishtam samudramapa pravisanti yatvat tatvat kamayam pravisanti sarve sasanti mapnoti nakamakami. So the desires are entering into our mind like rivers are entering into the ocean. So we only have to check our desires. We should not be disturbed by these desires. So that can happen only if we control our mind, if we practice Krishna consciousness, if we follow all the instructions given by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So then only it is possible for us to fix our mind in one place. Because mind is always wavering. Because Arjuna told Krishna that mind is restless, mind is turbulent, mind is obstinate, and mind is very strong. So, but Krishna is saying that from wherever the mind goes, you bring it back under the control of the self. Mind is wandering here and there. Indriyanam gi charatam. Senses are roaming. So when the mind focuses on the sense objects, so then we are in big trouble. In fact, today, the slokas, what we are going to study in the third chapter, it's very, very important slokas, which I have quoted also many times in the past. Of course, I say this every time. And really speaking, many slokas I have quoted many times in the past, because Bhagavad Gita itself is full of knowledge. It's completely full of knowledge. Each and every sloka, each and every word coming from Krishna, it is completely, it is for us, ourselves, the knowledge for us. So that's what we need to understand. So all our questions are fully answered, completely answered. So when we have attachments, then we come under the control of the Maya, come under the control of the Rajoguna. That is very clear. When we think about and when we will get attachment, when we are attached, so then we are controlled by Maya, when we are attached to the sense objects. And when we will develop attachment to the sense objects, only when we think about the sense objects. If you don't think about the sense objects, then we are not going to develop attachment to them. So the root cause is thinking about the sense objects. So when the mind thinks about the sense objects, then only we are going to develop attachment on them. But idle mind is the devil's workshop. That's what we heard about it. Because mind cannot sit idle. Mind is always young. Mind will never get old. When we become old with our body, so we will get old. Our body will get old. The soul is never get old. The soul is always young. So it's like that, the mind is always fresh. So that way mind, even if we are 75, 80 or 90, even if we are in the deathbed, mind will be very active. Mind will be very strong. Anytime did we notice that our mind became lazy or our mind becomes very not able to do anything? Because mind is always very strong. Mind always goes everywhere. So that way the mind cannot sit idle. But if the mind thinks about the sense objects, then the problem is we will develop attachment to the sense objects. Then we will be forced by we will come under the control of the Rajoguna. Rajoguna will be just waiting. So as soon as we develop attachment to the sense objects, then immediately Rajoguna comes. So Rajo Ragatmakam Viddhi Trishna Sangha Samudbhavam. Sangha is attachment. Sangha Samudbhavam. So when we have Raga is also attachment. So when we have attachment, then when we have Sangha, this attachment with the sense objects, immediately Samudbhavam, Udbhavam means it's produced. So what is produced? Rajoguna. Rajo Ragatmakam Viddhi Trishna Sangha Samudbhavam. Then immediately what it does? Tannibadnati Kaunteya Karma Sangena Dehinam. That's it. So when we think about sense objects, then when we develop attachment to the sense objects, then Rajoguna will take control of us. Then Rajoguna takes control of us, then Rajoguna does the job. That's why we are not doing any work. We need to understand very clearly, because many times Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that we are not the doer. We are not the performer. We are not doing anything. Everything is done by the three modes of material nature. Prakrite kriyamanani, gunagi karmani, sarvasaga, ahankara vimudatma, kartagam iti manyade. So everything is done by the three modes of material nature. But when we have attachment to the material sense objects, then we come under the control of Rajoguna. So then Rajoguna karma sangena deginam. That's why Rajo Ragatmakam Viddhi Trishna Sangha Samudbhavam then immediately binds us. Tannibadnati Kaunteya Karma Sangena Degram. Then it will force us to work, force us to do the action. We are not doing it. In fact, Rajoguna is doing it, and we will be compelled, we will be forced. That's why Arjuna asked the question, by what one is forced? By what one is forced to commit sins? Atakena prayaktoyam papam charati purushaka. Anichana pivarsneya baladiva niyojitaka. So by what one is forced to commit sins? Krishna said that it is kamayesa, krodayesa, rajoguna, samudbhavaga. So when we come under the control of rajoguna, that is the mode of passion, so then kama and krodha will come. So that's why sangat sanjayate kama, kamat krodho abhijayate. So now we are able to connect these two slokas. The sloka what Krishna taught in the second chapter, 60 towards 63, 62, 63, those slokas Krishna taught there in the second chapter. And then Krishna what he is teaching in the 14th chapter, about 7 or 8 slokam. So both are, now we are able to connect very nicely. So, dhyayato visayan pumsaga sangastesu pajayate. So when we think about the sense objects, we develop attachment for them. So now you go back to 14th chapter. Rajo ragatmakam viddhi trishna sanga samudbhavam. From that sanga stesu pajayate. From that sanga, from that attachment, what is going to happen is Rajoguna is going to take control of us. So that's why sangat sanjayate kama kamat krodho abhijayate. So now Krishna is teaching in the third chapter. In the third chapter in that slokam, Krishna is teaching that kamayesa krodhayesa rajoguna samudbhavaga. So kamayesa krodhayesa rajoguna samudbhavaga. Both this kama and krodha, they are produced from rajoguna. So that means rajoguna is fitting in between in this slokas, in this chapter, in this sloka. That is kama. There is dhyayato visayan pumsaga sangastesu pajayate. So then from sangat rajogunam udbhav, so samudbhavam, so rajo is produced, rajoguna comes, then from the rajoguna only kama and krodha comes. So that's why sangat sanjayate kama kamat krodho abhijayate. So that's why this kama and krodha, kamayesa krodhayesa rajoguna samudbhavam, that is produced from the rajoguna. So how we can free ourselves from the rajoguna? Because rajoguna is going to bind us to karma. So that's why rajo ragatmakam viddhi trishna sanga samudbhavam tannibadnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. It is going to bind us, it's going to bind us to bondage to work. Karma bandham. This karma bandham is going to be happening because of the rajoguna. So now how we can free ourselves from rajoguna? So our mind, the root cause is that our mind should not think about the sense objects. Then only we can stop this. Then only we can free ourselves from the mode of passion, rajoguna. So that means our mind should not think about sense objects. I just said a few minutes ago, mind is very active. Mind has to think always something. Mind cannot sit idle. So then what should the mind do? The mind should think about Krishna. That's the mind. So we need to think about Krishna. Because when we think about Krishna, that's why Krishna in Bhagavad Gita repeatedly says that always think of me, fix your mind upon me, fix your intelligence upon me, remember me all the time. Krishna is repeatedly saying machittaga, 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 many slokas. Machittaga means thinking about me, always think about me. Because when our mind is thinking about Krishna, all these problems won't happen. That means our mind won't be able to, it cannot, at the same time, it cannot think about the sense objects, and at the same time, it cannot think about Krishna. Both is not possible. At a given time, mind cannot do parallel tasks. Mind can think about only one thing at a time. So mind thinks about Krishna, we are very safe. So that's why this entire Bhagavad Gita is teaching us about how to fix our mind upon Krishna. How to focus our mind upon Krishna. So that's why Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita that Bhakti Yogena Sevate Sagunan Samatitaitan. So anyone renders devotional service unto me out of devotion. So that means always thinking about Krishna. We are going to serve Krishna because when we think about Krishna only, we are going to serve Krishna. So that way, when we focus our mind on Krishna, when we serve Krishna, then we are freed from the gunas, the 3 modes of material nature. So with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, Tamoguna goes away. Tamoguna bonds from the ignorance. So when we get this knowledge, we will not be under Tamoguna. And when we focus our mind on Krishna, then we won't come under the control of Rajoguna. So that means we will be in the Sattva-guna. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati. Rajaha karmani bharata. Jnanam avritya tu tamaga. Ajnane, there is, this jnana is the ajnana, ignorance. So that way, Sattva-guna, when we come, then we will be with that knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. When we act, when we think about Krishna all the time, so then we will be Suddha Sattva. Suddha Sattva means we are freed from all the gunas. So when we are freed from all the gunas, we are ready to go to Krishna as well. Because we are completely at the time focusing only on Krishna. We are not connected anything with this material world. We completely forget about everything in this material world. At that time, we will become indifferent to whatever we have heard, whatever we are hearing, everything. So this is a perfect science. So now in the third chapter, when Arjuna asked the question, like, you are teaching me Krishna, you are asking me to use intelligence, but at the same time, you want me to engage in this ghastly warfare. So why are you confusing me? I know that this is not intelligence. If I want to fight here, that means I am not using intelligence. That's what Arjuna asked Krishna. So that way we are confused. When we want to do ourselves, when we want to decide ourselves what is right, what is wrong, we don't know. We think that what I am thinking is right, but Arjuna was also thinking like that. Whatever he said, he spoke to Krishna, but everything was wrong actually. Everything. Arjuna told Krishna, oh, by fighting here, I am going to get sins. And Krishna told Arjuna, if you don't fight here, you are going to get sins. And Arjuna said that by fighting here, I am going to go to hell. And Krishna said that if you don't fight here, you are going to go to hell. So that's what we need to understand. So we need to understand exactly what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. That's why we have to be very clear. So then Krishna told Arjuna that there are two faiths which I have already explained to you. Jnana yogena sankyanam, karma yogena yoginam. So then we finished with the fourth sloka last week. Na karmana anaramban naiskarmyam purushosnute. Nacha sanyasana deva siddhim sama adhikachati. So not by doing action. Na karmana manaramban naiskarmyam. One cannot get free from the reaction. That means simply not by doing an action, we cannot get freedom from the reaction. So not by renunciation alone, one can achieve perfection. That's why na karmana manaramba naiskarmyam purushosnute nacha sanyasana deva siddhim sama adhikachati. So that means we understand very well that we need to act. And we need to act without any attachment to the results. So in the next sloka, which I have quoted many times, in the sloka number 5 in the third chapter, Krishna is teaching us there. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tistati akarmakrit karyate avasaka karma sarvaka prakriti jai gunehi. So nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tistati akarmakrit. So not even a single moment one can refrain from doing something. So because everyone is forced to act helplessly by the three modes of material nature. So that's what today I have explained everything, how we are getting forced by the three modes of material nature. But it is possible for us to free ourselves from the three modes of material nature when we focus our mind only on Krishna, when we surrender unto Krishna. So Krishna said that Mameva ye prabatyante mayam yetam tarantite. So Maya means the modes of nature. So anyone who surrenders unto me can free from the Maya. Mameva ye prabatyante mayam yetam tarantite. So that way here in this material world, not even a single moment we can get free ourselves. We can sit idle. Because everyone is forced to act helplessly by the three modes of material. So that's why this Bhagavad Gita knowledge is very important for us. Because this is a science. With this Bhagavad Gita knowledge only we are understanding about our mind. Everything. So this is a perfect science and it is the king of science. It is the king of knowledge. So that's why Krishna is saying that everyone is forced to act helplessly by the three modes of material nature. So next, in the next sloka, Krishna is teaching us in the 6th sloka. कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम्य य आस्ते मनसा स्मरन् इंद्रियार्थान् विमूढात्मा मिथ्याचारः स उच्यते. So, while trying to control our working senses, karmendriyas. So, what are the working senses? We have 5 working senses. So, main working senses are our hands, legs, and then our voice, everything which you are able to move under our will. So, they are our working senses. My hands are like this. If I want to move, so I can move. So that means it is working senses. And similarly, legs, if I want to walk, if I want to go somewhere, I'm able to walk. And similarly, so that is moving. Our joints, like legs, if we have everything, all the joints, everything, it's all moving. Somewhere, some joints it's not working, we are stuck. We are not able to move. So all these things are working senses in our body. So similarly, everything is moving here. So we are able to open our mouth, close our mouth, and we are able to make sound. So all these things, it's working senses. So this is third working sense. And then we are able to control our anus and genital also. So that is fourth and fifth working senses. These are 5 working senses. So while trying to control these working senses, but still if mind thinks about the sense objects. So karmendriyani samyamya ya aste manasasmaran indriyarthan. Indriyarthan means sense objects. So manasasmaran means if you remember with mind. Smaran means remembering. So if you remember with mind. So if you think about the sense objects with our mind while forcefully trying to control our working senses. So then Krishna is saying that he is simply a pretender. Midhyacharaga, and he is a fool. Vimudhatma. So Midhyacharaga Vimudhatma. So he is a pretender and a foolish fool. Midhyacharaga Vimudhatma. So Vimudhatma Midhyacharaga Sauchyate. So he is just called a pretender. That's what Krishna is saying. So that means what we are supposed to do. This material world, that's what we are doing it. We are not even trying to control our working senses. In this material world, everything we are trying to enjoy. We are trying to enjoy these material sense objects without knowing that they are the source of our miseries. They are the source of our attachment, our bondage to this material world. Yegi samsparsa jabhoga dukkha yone yevate. So, the bhoga, the enjoyment which are born from samsparsaja. Samsparsaja means which is born from the contact of our senses with the material sense objects. So that kind of enjoyment is actually the source of our miseries. Dukkha yonya. Dukkha yonya means source of our miseries. And this kind of so-called cheap material enjoyment, it has got beginning and end. Adi antamantaga kaunte. So that's why an intelligent person does not take participation in this kind of cheap material sense enjoyment. Natesu ramate bhutaka. So what we should do then? In the next shloka, Krishna is very, very clearly instructing us. In the shloka number 7, Krishna is very clearly what we should do with our mind. So with our mind, yastvindriyani manasa niyamyarabaterjuna niyamyarabaterjuna karmendriyaihi karmayogam asaktaga savisisyate. So yastvindriyani manasa. So with our senses, so with our mind, manasa means with our mind, we should control our senses. Niyamya means regulate. We should regulate our senses. That's why yastvindriyani manasa niyamya arabate arjuna. So instead of trying to control our senses but thinking about the sense object with our mind, that doesn't work. But instead, we should actually control our senses and do the work and act. There is no need to restrain our working senses. We need to act. And we need to act means we need to perform our duties. That's what is called karma yoga. So karmendriyaihi karmayogam asaktaha. Asaktaha means without any attachment. So without any attachment, we need to perform. So that's why karmendriyaihi karmayogam asaktaha savisishyate. So even Krishna said in the 9th chapter we studied that na chamam tani karmani nibannandi dhananjaya udasina vadasino asaktam tesu karmasu. That's what Krishna said. Krishna said that whatever work I am doing, nothing is binding me. That's what Krishna said that. Na chamam tani karmani nibannandi dhananjaya. Because I am neutral. I am not attached. Asaktam tesu karmasu. So I am not attached. So Krishna is not attached. Of course, Krishna is not even forced to act. Krishna is the controller of the three modes of material nature. So here Krishna is using this word asakta. Asakta many times in the Bhagavad Gita Krishna is using. Asakta means without any attachment. So that's why we should act, we should perform our duty without any attachment. So that's what is called karma yoga. Karmendriyaihi karma yogam asaktaka savisishyate. So that is the best. So that's why here Krishna is asking Arjuna there to fight. So you have to do your duty. So already in the 2nd chapter itself, Krishna told Arjuna that you are a Kshatriya. So for Kshatriya, swadharmam api chaveksha navikampitum argasi. Kshatriya, there is yuddha, fight. So there is nothing else is better than to do for Kshatriya. Dharmyadi yuddha cheyonyad kshatriyasya na vidyade. So for the sake of dharma, one Kshatriya should fight. So there is nothing else is better for him. So that's why dharmyadi yuddha shreyonyad kshatriyasya na vidyate. So like that here you need to do your duty without any attachment to the results. So that's why Krishna is continuing in the next sloka, in the sloka number 8. Niyatam kuru karmatvam karmajayo hyakarmanaha Sarira yatra pichate na prasiddhayed akarmanaka. So perform your prescribed duties. Niyatam kuru karmatvam. That is better than not working. Karma jayohi akarmanaka, which is better than not doing your duty. So it's better for you to fight. So that is your prescribed duty. So prescribed duty means based upon your swabhava, based upon your swadharma. So your swadharma is as a Kshatriya, you need to fight to make sure righteousness prevails. So that way you perform your prescribed duties. Niyatam kuru karmatvam. So that's why we need to do prescribed duties. We cannot do anything and everything say that I am doing duty. Already in the 2nd chapter we studied, Krishna told very clearly, the durenege avaram karma. Keep all abominable activities at a far distance. That's what Krishna told. So here Krishna is saying that niyatam kuru karmatvam karma jayo hi akarmanaka. And having obtained this human body, sarira yatra pichate. So nothing is good for us other than working. So we cannot even maintain our body without doing our duty. That's why sarira yatra pichate na prasiddhayet akarmanaka. So by Krishna's mercy, today we studied 4 slokas from the sloka number 5 to 8 in the 3rd chapter. We are making great progress. And Krishna is teaching us, giving us so much knowledge. So this is the knowledge what we need to follow. So each and every sloka what Krishna says we need to follow in our life. That is the main thing. So that's why this Bhagavad Gita knowledge is very important. And in fact, Krishna is teaching us how to act. Tate karma pravakshyami. I shall explain to you what is karma, how to act. So yajnatva mokshase asubhat. So by knowing which you will be freed from all miseries. That's what Krishna is teaching. So that way by Krishna's causeless mercy, we successfully studied 4 slokas today. And I will stop now.